Okay, it says we're live. It's about 18 minutes late. You know, I went through a 14-minute rant on service animals, and it said it was recording, but it never stored. Where did it go? I've no goddamn idea where the frick it went, but it's gone. So I'm going to do it again. And if it goes away, I'll do it again. I've got my word to say, and this jackass jumping around digital stuff isn't going to stop me. By God, it's going to help me. Here we go, people. This is Max Rants. This is 7:19 p.m., and it is September the 16th, 2025. Fine, up comes the scroll. You know what I wanted to say was, it's getting really rough out there. Rough, like the noise a dog makes. Your radical dog owners, your cinephiles, they're pushing the envelope, and they're doing it just a little bit too much. I swear to God, they really need to learn to back off. Our country has many divisions. We've got Democrats and Republicans. We've got splits on race. Thank you, Democrats. Splits on sex and sexuality. Thanks again, Democrats. Abortion. Thanks again, Democrats. Wow. Gun control. Dems are right on that one too. And a whole lot of things, but that's not what I want to talk about today. Today I'm talking about the insanity of radical, idiot, or lying, conniving dog owners, also known as Cynophiliacs. What is cynophilia? That's an unnatural attraction to dogs. Sounds like America to me. Well, these are, like Democrats, they're at odds with self-control, reality, forward thinking, good judgment, decency on a variety of fronts. But look around you, if you will. A very well-meaning Congress, a well-meaning Senate, maybe even a well-meaning president, years ago signed into law the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA. The idea was to come up with a level playing field for people who are handicapped. Since we obviously weren't doing it enough to make them happy, they decided to make a law. So now every store has X number of ramps, X number of preferred parking spaces. Many businesses offer X services for the handicapped so they can function in a regular world and enjoy the kind of life we enjoy as much as is possible. And those laws don't just say where you park or what bathroom you use. They also say what animal you can cart around with you. That would be a service animal. Now there's all kinds. Legally, it's limited to dogs and miniature horses. Don't ask me how that went down, but that's the law. But I'm going to concentrate on dogs since I don't see too many miniature horses being walked around Walmart. Okay, so let's get on with this. The Americans with Disabilities Act has left too many loopholes. It's been too sloppy. It's been, for lack of a better word, a lazy bill, allowing millions and millions of Americans to cheat, to fake, to say, mine is a service animal. I should be allowed to go to the hospital with my dog. These people are pushing reality and common sense to the very limits. And people like me, we're sick and tired of it. I'll explain why. I'm not just being a Karen. It's doing a harm, a horrible disservice to the real handicapped, to the real service animals, to the real animal handicapped pairings out there. I was in the hospital today. I went in for some tests. And during that time, about a half a dozen service animals paraded by me. Two of them, okay, it's pretty obvious bet since their owners have white canes, dark glasses, and the dogs have a control, like that harness on them so that the owner knows where they're going. That's cool. Another one was a dog for the deaf. Very important job. But the others, no way in hell were they service animals. God, one is straining at the leash. Another one is jumping on people looking for affection. The others are playing back and forth with each other. One guy's got two little pint-sized yap, 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 yap pedigreed rats on the end of a leash. Come on, stop. They are not service animals. Let's get real, okay? They are slipping them in under a bullshit clause that doesn't exist anywhere in the law. Are you ready? Comfort animal, emotional support animal. No such thing. A service animal is an animal that has been trained to address a specific handicap, danger, or shortcoming with a specific action. A seeing eye dog will hold up, stop moving, will steer its owner around trouble. A deaf dog, dog for the deaf that is. The dog can hear, thank God for that. We'd be in double trouble. Anyway, a dog for the deaf hears the noises the owner can't hear, like a truck coming toward them, or a loud horn, or a gunshot, and it again freezes to let its owner know something's coming down. It can even steer the owner away. That's the real deal, okay? Having a dog that you can cry on, oh my poodle, I'm up, that's not giving you any specific action for any specific problem. Plain and simple. Comfort animals, emotional support, they are part of service dog fraud. The ADA makes no distinction. Now, it's a fact that the service animals aren't just trained to be blind dogs, to see deaf dogs. No. Understand, they are also paired with their owners. It takes years and tens of thousands of dollars in the hands of skilled trainers to train a service dog. Once trained, it takes more time and money to train the owner to work with the dog and to make the two a pair, to couple them so that the dog and the owner act as one. When you don't see that happening, when you see a person with their animal and they're obviously not, paired, it's a fake. It's a lie. Plain and simple. What do you want to look for? You look for that pairing. You look for animals that are well trained on the leash, animals that aren't running around looking for more attention, not jumping up and down on people, not barking. You're looking for real frauds, overt. Teacup poodles, chihuahuas, Pekingese, these little dogs the size of a guinea pig. Or pit bull terriers, pit bull mixes, mastiffs, mastiff mixes. All of these are out of the mix. They are not in there when it comes to service animals. Now, I watch as people drag their animals into hospitals and supermarkets, into restaurants, out everywhere, into public parks where the signs say, no dogs allowed. The main's an emotional support dog. Shut the hell up. These people, these fraudsters are protected by the vagary of the law. The ADA needs to be rewritten and resubmitted to fill in these holes. And the only way to do it is a National Service Animal Registry. I'll get to that. When you're entering an establishment that says service animals only, you never see anybody questioning people. And here's why. There are only two questions you can legally ask. Question one, is this a service animal? Yes. Okay. Question two, here's the biggie. This is the bullet. What action is your animal trained to perform to protect you? That's the magic question. The problem is store owners scared shitless of getting sued. Remember, this is America. Winning a lawsuit is better than winning the lottery because a lawsuit is tax-free. So they don't want to get sued. They can't trust their employees to ask these two delicate questions or make judgments because remember, today's $18 an hour store help is yesterday's $2.50 an hour store help. They're no better trained. They're no better qualified. They're no more mature or smart. They're not smarter. They're the same carbon copies of what we had in the 70s. They're just getting a hell of a lot more money because it costs so damn much more to live. That's how I feel. What we need is a National Service Animal Registry where dogs are trained by certified trainers with certified curriculum, where the dogs themselves are then registered, maybe a tattoo or an RFID chip, but they're registered as service animals. And then where they are paired, again, under licensed supervision with their owners. That's what you need. Now, how hard is that? Come on. If we had that, then when you walk into a store and you've got your service dog, there's a tag or a badge or something somewhere saying this is a real service animal. Now, don't go to the internet looking for service animal accreditation. It's everywhere. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. There is no government accreditation, no government certification. There are no government standards to enforce what is or what is not a service animal. When you see Fido come in with that little service animal badge in his jacket, you know it's bullshit. You know the guy bought the jacket at Amazon for $29.95 because it's a big dog, and you know that card came from one of the many liars on the internet who are making a fortune, because when you pay for that ID, if you believe that's real ID, then you're too stupid to have an animal anyway. If you don't believe it, then you know you're a lying piece of shit. You know that you're scum. You are walking excrement. Because what you're doing is you're demeaning the real handicapped. Too many people watch fake service animals and owners engage in activities that real service animal and owners would never engage in. And it lowers their opinion. It lowers the validity. I have seen, you have seen too, discrimination, very subtle but real, against service animals and their owners, because the people who are discriminating have only seen the fake ones. When they see a dog bite somebody in a store, or they see another dog straining on a leash, or they see a dog sitting in someone's shopping cart and it says service animal, they think, oh, that's a service animal. Oh. When they run into a real service animal, they don't know how to act. The federal government calls this service dog fraud. But you can call it what you want. There are no teeth to any laws. We need a National Service Animal Registry, and we need punishments. I'm talking high fines, maybe even a little jail time, say 6 months, or maybe a little bit of public service, maybe a year. You got to stop these people because they're ruining it for the good guys. And if you have any sort of sense of dignity, that pisses you off. It sure does me.